Hi and welcome to Excel Women TV, where we equip, empower and encourage women for success in business and life. My name is Toby Awoyemi. Are you a housewife or stay-at-home mom? Looking for a sense of fulfillment or just to bring in extra income into your home, but you're short of ideas or you don't know what to do? Well, I caught up with a lady who was in exactly the same position. She has gone on from being a stay-at-home mom and housewife to starting her own business and becoming, guess what, a millionaire who was featured on primetime TV in the UK. Would you like to know how? Take a look. Caroline Marsh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you.
You can tell I'm so happy to have Caroline on the show, so excited. Caroline, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, I'm really honored to be on your show, Toby, and I do hope that together we'll have a great time together, right? I can see. I'm not sure I'll do the dance quite as you, but we'll see.
Okay, that's my happy dance. So, Caroline, this is a question I always love to ask. What did you want to be when you were younger? What do you think? I want to be that when I grow up. What was it?
Oh my goodness, that's a very interesting question. What did I want to be? When I was younger, my dream was to actually become an air hostess. I dreamt of all the glamour. In fact, I saw a TV ad and I saw these girls looking fabulous and going on to airplane. And I just thought, oh my gosh, when I grow up, I want to be an air hostess. So that was my dream. And do you know what? Actually, I did live my dream. I was an air hostess at one point in time.
No way.
Of course, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Hostess. Wanted for me to think about. Thank you so much. Hostess. And I do know that there are a lot of women out there who look up to you, who are inspired by your journey. And there are also women, the same women, thinking, I want to achieve my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, just like Caroline has done. You have achieved tremendous success, in the property industry, in your current mentoring business. Can you just, give us an insight into your track? How did you get there?
Well, I'll have to condense the story because it's quite a long-winded story. But what happened was in 2006, I got on a path of discovering or wanting to find out the real purpose to my life and the reason just for my existence. I mean, at the time, I was a stay-home mum, and I love being a mum. I still am a mum today. But it's the idea of thinking there must be more to my life than just this. Being married at home and look after family was great. But again, there was something about my talents and how do I translate from being just staying at home to something more meaningful in my life? And so I went to a business conference in Alicante in Spain, and that was to support my husband with his business. And when I got there, in fact, I was praying, asking God, what is the purpose for my life? What is there for me to do? And how do I meet all these other financial obligations? And which was one of the big reasons as to, I had to find what do I have to do rather than just be at this stage. And so from that search, I then heard a property investor talk about property investments and how you can maximize on rental income and run a successful business. So what was, again, another area for me to think about was, well, if I want to be a property investor, is that really my passion? Is that really what I want to be? But it was finding out what was it about property that I could do and use my gifts and talents. So apart from making lots of money, it was thinking, actually, my talent or part of my passion is people. I love people. And property is about the two P's. One is people, and the other aspect is the property itself. So being able to serve people and being there for them, for me, will be fulfilling destiny, because it's what I love, to meet people and share and be of service to somebody else. And so it was turning out my gift of being a people person and translating that into a business idea. And so now Steve Bolton, who then came to the UK and worked with me as a business mentor, taught me how to do property investments. And from that on, I had to learn I could either become a landlord or I could become a property investor. And the difference is, if you're an investor, you run your business as a business. So you follow all the fundamentals, of which most of the time people do property as a landlord, almost as a hobby of thinking, I want to get into property, I want to buy 1 or 2 houses. But actually, if it's run like that, is very short-sighted, and therefore at the same time you don't treat it as a business for profit making. You don't run it as a business venture. Instead, it's almost just as, you know, going along. Whereas with the business, I had to have a vision of where I wanted to get to, what it should look like, what we'll be serving in the marketplace, the impact it will have, and so, you know, did that, and thank God it was a success, and here we are today. We're doing greater things as we've continued to grow. So
yes, amazing success. Thank you. You are an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration to a lot of women out there. And I just want to pick up a few things from your journey. So you started with prayer, which is a very, very important one. And you're talking about going for a conference. I see that as you did something, you took some action.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you talked about having a mentor, which is important. Someone who's been on that journey and knows the way to get there, and also knows what you need to avoid. And you talked about having a vision for what you want to achieve. So that's really, really important. Prayer, taking action, having a mentor, and having a vision for where you really want to get to. Did you get that? And it's nice to hear your journey. It's, you know, it's inspiring, it's motivational. I can imagine some of the women out there already thinking, that sounds good. Yes, I can do that. Caroline just said I can do that. But I bet that they're just like every success story that we hear. There are also some top attributes, you know, that helped you to get to where you are now. You know, what we would sometimes call the secrets of your success. Can you please share this with us? I promise I won't share them with you.
The secrets.
Just me and the people watching.
I think to keep things simple, like everything else, there are steps that one must take to become successful. And the first thing for me is one must have a clear vision. You must have a clear plan of seeing what you want to become, see how you want this empire of business that you envisage of having, what it's going to look like at the end, and also see the services you're going to be offering. So I had to be very clear as to, okay, this is what I would like to create. But then again, it's how does one come up with this big dream? Is it just about money? For me, it was now being able to see, actually, it's first of all to meet the obligations of my day-to-day life. So when you're trying to articulate your vision, try and think of key life events that are, you know, unique to your own self and your own circumstances. And then from there, think of the impact you're going to have. So from my business point of view, number one was to have a clear vision on how I would meet my obligations towards helping my family back at home in Africa. The second one was about my children's education. So I have kids, and it's ensuring that whenever I will create, this thing will sustain their education through from primary all the way through to university. Absolutely. Looking at your lifestyle, and if you have to retire or you know, and absolutely, and we're all going to get there. But I think the greatest thing is around impact. If you have to work on your vision, what impact will you have to on humanity? So for me, it's right now, our model on property investments, we provide affordable accommodation to working professionals. So we know that university graduates finish their university, can't afford to get on the property ladder, it's too expensive, but looking for somewhere nice. So what we would do is create something that is that serves to them and makes a difference. So I think vision on what you're going to do exactly, and of all things, I believe in being blessed to be a blessing. So if I can make more money, then I believe not only will I have more time to do the things that matter, but actually I will have a greater impact on humanity. Things that are close to my heart around women and children or young people is, what can I do to be able to impact those people who may be less privileged than myself? and that becomes another key driver.
Yeah.
So that's top tip number one. Second one is number two, strategy. You must, whatever, if you're going to run anything successful, it must be sustainable, but it must go beyond sustainability into actually profit making.
Okay.
So the key with that is the strategy behind making it profit making.
Okay.
So one can be in property investments and make lots of money,
Yes.
whilst on the other side you can lose money just because you have no clarity on your strategy. So our strategy is focusing on maximizing on rental income. Typical example is if we have a single household
Yes.
that we're renting out,
Yeah.
we get X amount of income just from one tenant.
Correct.
However, if we take the same household and turn it into a house of multiple occupation, you have more than one occupant in the house. If, for example, now you're getting rent from 5 or 6 people
Yes.
as opposed to one occupant,
person.
that's right.
Yeah.
If the house is not occupied,
Yes.
we know that we're still going to have 4 other rooms give us revenue.
That's
Whereas
really
if you
smart.
have just one whole household, if it's not
Yes.
occupied,
Yes.
you're losing money. So your strategy around property investments might give you clarity. If you're going to think of getting into construction, say like I'll call it yes as an enterprise. Think about the the negative effects around it. And
Okay.
if you're going to get into real estate, say in the area of commercial real estate,
Yes.
know the pitfalls of that and then choose which one is best suited for you. I would never get into a strategy that I know is not going to achieve my vision. So you be clear about your vision. That's right. And then the third thing is, no matter how fabulous and great you are at what you do, we all need support. And I'm a great believer in standing on a shoulder of a giant. Find somebody who's been there before. Get yourself a mentor, somebody who can help you and guide you in that, along that journey. And there are various mentors out there who would teach you various strategies. What's important is when you're looking for a mentor, understand that it must be somebody who is not theoretical, but somebody who is more practical. If they have been there and done it, great. But if they're telling you because they know of some idea, be very careful with that. That's right. Yes. So I got myself a mentor, and therefore he helped me become and do what I currently do. And those will be my 3 top tips. So first one, get a vision, strategy, and get support. Get a mentor.
Amazing. That was a lot. That was a lot, for us to learn from. I'm currently taking that in. Clarity of vision. What do you want? What's your vision about this? What are the reasons behind this? And, Caroline outlined some amazing things, She had her goals. She had people. What impact are you making on humanity? A lot of things in life is all about people, So that's number 1. So you have your own personal goals and you have your goals to have an impact, to touch other people. And strategy. How will I get there? What's my vehicle? What's the track? What's the path? And thirdly, a mentor. Someone who's been on this track before. Knows how to get there, knows what you need to avoid. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Caroline. I'm still thinking. You can tell I'm in that mood, thinking about those things. That's amazing. And we've got your top 3, success tips. What would you also say, has helped you? Because a lot of the success stories that we read, we see that it wasn't a smooth journey to get there. There are usually obstacles, challenges along the way. We hear about attributes such as resilience, persistence, consistency. What would you say is that top attribute for you as an individual that's helped you to scale the walls, to get to a level where you have achieved the status in the property industry, in your businesses, and to be able to be featured on primetime TV? What is the attribute?
I think the greatest thing I could sum it up in one word is mindset.
Wow.
And really, at whatever level you're at, there must be a particular mindset you need to begin to cultivate for you to become successful. And so it's how you respond to the world of success and find out what the success blockers will be. So a lot of the times it's how we're thinking, it's the thinking behind, and then that will lead us to the actions that you're going to take. So one must really look at finding out how does a successful person think and what do they exactly, and then obviously you follow through character, building yourself in being more disciplined with your time and your money, being more disciplined exactly as a woman is the hair, the shoes, the handbags, whatever. And so those are the key areas where one, again, building your resilience, and difficulties come to us all. It's how we respond when challenges come, and keep the vision at the forefront of what you're going after until you get there.
For me, that's amazing. How does a successful person think? Have that mindset. Thank you so much, Caroline. You've been such a blessing to us today. I hope you was inspired by Caroline's story as I was, going from a stay-at-home mom to starting her own business and becoming a millionaire. She started with her God-given vision, going on to have a mentor, having a strategy in her back pocket that was simply amazing. Caroline's story shows us that nothing is impossible if we seek God and also apply ourselves. If you've been impacted by any part of this episode, please do contact us. Drop a comment on our social media handles at Excelwoman with Toby on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter at ExcelWomanTV, or simply email us hello@excelwoman.tv. God bless you and see you again real soon. Bye-bye.